We are live on Facebook. We are so
Woo!
excited. Today is Take Charge Tuesday. Yes, yes. And I have an outstanding, dynamic presenter to share with you today. I am so excited on this Take Charge Tuesday. You know, I'm Beth Copeland with Georgia Christian Business Network. And what is our vision? To put God back in business. Yes. And we're looking at greater opportunities this year in 2022. Elevation 2022. This is the year of elevation. And we want you to embrace it. So we have identified and really just tapped in because we already have relationships with these people. And then God is bringing new people into our path as well. But this one here, you're familiar with, and we are as well. We're so excited to present Gladys Agwai to our platform. Welcome back, Gladys.
Thank you, thank
Welcome
you, thank
back.
you. I'm
We're so
excited.
excited. Can you tell? We
I'm
are too.
excited.
Well, we've been promoting you, Gladys, all, prior to the event, weeks prior, and letting people know that you were coming back with a purpose to share, to shine some light, as we prayed prior to the show, on their path and understanding elevation in a greater sense. And I love what Lisa Moose said about you in one of the posts I saw when she was promoting. She said, elevation is nothing new for Gladys. It's nothing new for you. And so what we want to do is allow you this opportunity. We've shared your credentials and all your wonderful accomplishments through your bio. But this is your opportunity and your time to share with our listening audience. Thank you for joining us on Zoom here, Lee, and those that are on Facebook live. Share with and those that will watch the replay. Who are you? What do you do? And why we really need to know.
Thank you, Beth. You're one of my favorite people, and the Georgia Christian business community as well. So thank you for having me. I am excited to be here. And I'm telling you, I love the Take Charge Tuesdays because I'm all about taking ownership of your life. We keep leaving it in other people's hands and relying on other people. And I say you need to be taking charge of your life, of your business, of your career. So I am all about taking charge and taking ownership. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go through things today. I don't want to get into my background. Y'all read it if you want to read it. I'm here to care about you today for this next hour and ensure that I am delivering value-driven messages to you, not for you to just listen to me now. Don't just listen. I want you to listen. I want you to learn. And then I want you to go out and apply. Because unless you take action, that's the problem with us now. We're not taking the actions that we need to be taken. And you just listening and going here and there and listen, and you're not doing. You have to do the work. You got to do the work. So
Got to put the work in.
Get your paper.
Yeah.
Let's listen. Let's take whatever notes, action notes. I like action notes. Like, what am I going to go out and do based on what I heard? And, we can get this started when you're ready, Beth.
Let's
I
get
have some
this party
slides that I can
started.
share.
Okay.
But you let me know when you're ready for me to do that.
Well, listen, this is your opportunity to help us to glean from. It'll be interactive. If I need to chime in, I will. But You're driving today, Gladys. And I like what you said already. And I'll, want to unpack a few things that you said. But you said something so powerful. You said we have to put the work in. That's our job. That's our role. There's work to be done. There's great things on the horizon for each of us. And so I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say, but you drive. And then if we have some input, and I'm sure over on the Facebook side of the house, they'll probably have some participation as well, but you drive. Okay.
Yes, yes, engage. I'm looking forward to engaging with everybody. Don't blend in with the walls. This is not the year to be blending in. This is the year for you to stand out and let your voices be heard. Let your actions showing results. That is what this is about. That's what she's talking about when she talks about elevation. And we're going to
Yes,
talk about
yes.
elevating your thinking. Because if
Right.
your thinking is not elevated and you're doing the same old thing that you've been doing all of this time, and then you're mad at everybody else, not yourself, you're mad at everybody else because you haven't achieved what you said you wanted to achieve. But I'm
You know,
saying
you
it's time.
you're so on it, and I'm so glad that you said that. So you kind of prompt my thinking to share the definition that God has given me to share with the GCBN family and community, that how we're defining elevation is a continual ascension in your mind, is what Gladys said. How you think about yourself is a great place to start, but we're going to see what Gladys has to say about that. But what I want you to understand is a continual ascension in your mind and aligning your feet to follow the path that is mapped out in your in your mind. And so that's the way we're looking at it. And sometimes, honestly, I don't know who coined the phrase. I heard first from Joyce Meyer, stinking thinking. We have that, like Gladys is talking about, where you're mad at everybody else about what they're doing and what they're accomplishing in their lives. But yet, you're not putting the work in.
Right,
Help
right,
us, Gladys.
right,
Help
right,
us. Help us
right, right,
grow.
right. Yes, yes. And you know, one of my favorite, I may put the slides up, I may not. I don't know. I'm kind of
Okay,
liking the
we can
flow we're
roll.
going into right now.
Okay. Yes,
But
ma'am.
one of my favorite scriptures, and I don't know, for some reason when I'm speaking to this group, this one always comes up for me. And it's Matthew 12:2. Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you
Yes.
will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, his pleasing, his perfect will. So it didn't say, it says, do not conform any longer. That says, as of this moment, right now, right
Yes.
now, right now,
I love it. I love
do it.
Romans 12:1 and 2. That's Romans 12:1 and 2. I
Mhm.
love it. Be not conformed. So for the whole purpose of what God is saying there and what Paul is speaking, be not conformed. That means that there were opportunities where conforming was an issue, where we're modeling and doing what other people are doing, and we're not at all doing. And I love what Gladys says. It was what Lisa said, that, Gladys talks to us about different opportunities of quotes about sitting with yourself and learning yourself. And I hope you'll get an opportunity to really to break that thing down for us today as well. But you're talking about conforming, but be transforming. But we have too many people in this world that conform to what everybody else is doing and
Right.
scrolling through social media, trying to see what are they up to, what are they, and it impresses them, Gladys. It makes them sad. Why? Because I'm measuring myself against other people and I'm trying to conform. And that's not at all what God gave for them to do.
Other people that you don't even know. You assume they got all together and everything is great and their relationships are wonderful and they're doing all this stuff, but you don't even know.
You don't
You
even
barely
know.
even know what's happening with your family members and what's going on with your friends. So focus on, this is elevating your thinking about you, not other
Yeah.
people. This
Yeah.
conversation that we are having today is all about you. I want you to
All
put
about
yourself
you.
first. Put yourself first, and let's go through this journey of renewing your mind,
Wow.
transforming your thinking, elevating your thinking, because the promise is it's good, pleasing, and perfect. Yeah.
Awesome.
And
I
so
love that.
we sit in this place again of that comfort zone, that conforming. And then one day, I know I stand up in the mirror after long, hard days work, especially when I was in corporate. And I'm gonna have to say the word Beth. I say, how the hell did I get here? What
I
do I
got
do
you.
now? What
Well,
do
hell
I
is in
do?
the Bible, I think, is what
Yeah,
somebody
so
texted me
too
one day.
often, too often we so prissy about it. Oh,
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Let me think. Oh, I'm gonna try to do. And I'm like, take charge, take ownership of your life. How the hell did I get here? What am I
Yeah.
gonna do now? What am I going to do next? Because if you don't have that emotional connection to whatever it is that you say that you need to do, and everything with you has to be intellectual, you have to feel it in order to bring it forth. It can't just be up here. It just
It,
cannot.
I love it. It's like you took an assessment. One day you woke up, is what I want to say, and you found yourself in a place that was like what the Bible describes as hell. Okay. You were non-productive. It was torture. It was opportunity where you were not pleased with where you found yourself. You woke
Right.
up that day. And what did you do? You had an opportunity to stay there, or you had an opportunity to take charge and command forth the promises of God.
Right.
And you chose to do that. Look at you today and all that you've accomplished.
Yeah. And we sit in this place at moments that we don't like. And nobody likes to be in these uncomfortable moments. But yet you
Right.
are going to be in uncomfortable moments. You are going to be in moments that you don't like. How did I get here? What am I supposed to
Uh-huh.
do now? What am I supposed to do next? Which way do I
Uh-huh.
pivot? Anybody can pivot, but I want you to pivot in the right direction because you've gone through some elevated thinking processes to be able to do that. So I don't want you to avoid those moments that you find yourself in that are uncomfortable, that you don't like. I do want you to be aware and understand, why am I so uncomfortable sitting in this place?
Wow.
What is
Wow.
driving this anxiety that is coming up within me in this moment? And we'll talk about that, a little bit, later. But there's power in those moments that you don't like. It's power in those uncomfortable moments. There's power in you saying, how the hell did I get here? Because it's going to make you think. It's going to help you think differently. It's going to make you go internal to figure some stuff out. We're always looking outside, looking over here, what they did, the job did, the client did, the husband did, the wife did, the kids did. But I want you to come back up in here. I'm gonna always bring you back into you. And
Wow.
why is that
Wow.
trigger of that moment triggering the anxiety and the emotion that is in you? Because that is your responsibility to understand. You need to take charge of understanding and getting to know you. Otherwise, it does not work. And you will continually
No.
be in this place. What else do we allow? Distractions.
Yeah.
All these
Yeah.
distractions. And you think that I'm talking about, I'm always checking my email, I'm always answering my phone, I'm always doing this or doing that, I'm eating, whatever it is. We think that's the distraction. But I want you to think about the distraction as differently. That's what you do because of what? You're overwhelmed. You might be bored. You might be doing work or business or in relationships that you don't like, doing things that don't matter. And when you are in that place, that's when you say, "Ooh, let me go do anything but this because I'm in an uncomfortable place. I'm overwhelmed
Wow. Yeah.
in writing my
Yeah.
book. And therefore, I'm going to go try to clean up my room because I'm overwhelmed with the responsibility of writing the book or whatever that is for you." So rather than say, I'm going to stop checking my emails and I'm going to only do it once a day, that's all good. But I want you to really understand, why am I always checking the email. What is it about what I'm doing in this present moment that's got me where I want to distract myself from doing what you should be doing, which is what really matters to you.
Whoa, whoa. And you know, the distractions sometimes come, is what I've found in life, is when we're not focused on what we're called to do. And sometimes we're not aware or sure of what that thing is that God's called for us to do, because we don't sit in his presence to hear from him. We don't receive downloads from him. And when the closer you get to God, the more clarity you have about his speaking. Now I'm sitting here in my study part of my den, and the opportunities, if God's over in my office or my dining room area, I can't hear him all the way over here, because there's something, number one, these pods in my ear, he's gonna break through he's not gonna be able to break through. I've got to go to his presence and find that time alone with him so that he can speak to me. Kind of like Isaiah, when he said, "Here am I, God, send me." Okay, he was in the presence of God. And so we have to get it. I'm Gladys, you taught me this. You just really affirmed it. We've got to learn how to sit with ourselves. And in the process of sitting with ourselves, we're not seeking what's happening on social media, per se. We're seeking, God, what's next? What do you have for me? Where am I missing it? How did I get here? That's an opportunity to assess, evaluate, redirect, if you will. You have the option to do that.
That's right. You can't avoid the moments that you don't like. I said, you got to sit with those moments and understand why you're in this place of anxiety, right? You have to make sure that all the distractions, if you're overwhelmed, this is all about you getting to know you.
Right.
Don't stop dealing with just the surface bits and stuff. Oh, let me go and check my email. Let me go and... What is causing you to feel the way that you're feeling, the anger, the frustration, the sadness, whatever, the joy, the happiness? Because if it's joyful and happy for you, then what do you want? I want some more of that.
Yeah. Let me ask you something, Gladys. Shine a little light on this. Why is it difficult for people to get in touch with their inner self? What is the holdup that you see? And then also, when you answer that, the value to doing that.
I think that it's fear, number one, right? You're scared. What you gonna find out?
Awesome.
But fear is a good thing.
Yeah.
If you find yourself in a place of fear, my good friend Naila Baraki wrote a book around fear is a good thing. It's a good thing. And you have to sit with yourself to get to know yourself, but you have all of these preconceived notions about yourself, which a lot of times is not good. Remember, the National Science Foundation says we have up to 60,000 thoughts a day.
Yeah.
And of those thoughts, 85% of them are negative thoughts. And of those negative thoughts, we repeat those same negative thoughts over and over and over again, 80% of the time. So it's natural, it's normal. We're human beings to draw the negativity around us. It's like it's that fear that rises up in us to alert us, to avoid, to get ready, to prepare something that might hurt or harm us. And so with that, knowing that you are bringing all of the negative thoughts into your mind, these self-rejecting, self-sabotaging thoughts in your mind, you have to even more so be conscious and intentional to ensure that you are understanding why you are in that place. So it's out of fear, because we don't think highly of ourselves. again, you can speak it. I feel good about myself. I am, but if you don't feel it in your gut, in your inner being, in your soul, then it's not true. It's not real for you. It's true.
Wow.
It's when you say it's not, it's when that's a lie. But it's because of that. So we have to be careful of our natural instincts to pull the negative about others and about ourselves. And how from that we then self-sabotage, we self-reject to avoid rejection from others. So I'm not going to go in and get to know myself and say that I'm worthy, because if I go out and I try to do this, they're not going to want me anyway. Why? Because I'm not capable enough. I don't think I'm capable enough. I don't think that I'm worthy because of some past thing that has happened to me in my life. I don't think that I'm ever going to be able to get that client. I'm never going to be able to get that salary raise because I don't have the skills to be able to do that. I'm not worthy enough to get it. I'm not enough, just as I am, to have that love relationship in my life, for my kids to treat me like I'm supposed to be treated, for the people at work to respect me. We are also always wanting to be accepted and to belong and to be loved and to be enough. And so what happens is we will do anything to get that, even if it's
Yeah.
against what it is that we truly want or what God is telling us that we want. We don't trust. We don't trust ourselves. We don't trust other people. 70% of Americans think that, say they don't trust. They don't trust. But then they say, but 79% of them then say, but I know that to solve problems, I have to trust. So in one way you want to trust, but in another way you say, I can't trust. I know I need trust, but I won't trust. I don't know what. So we just confused. We don't want to deal with it. And sometimes it's just easier to let me just stay in my little pocket. It's just
And
easier to just stay in my little comfort zone.
and I get stagnant and I do nothing. Listen, we got to unpack some of what you said, because you said in our natural, and I had a particular scripture that I just want to read here that fits so in alignment with what you said. It's from 2 Corinthians in the 10th chapter. And listen, let me just say it like this. For though we walk in the flesh, that's that natural that you're talking about. We do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but yet they are mighty in God through the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, and bring it into captivity, every thought to the obedience of Christ, and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when our obedience is satisfied, is fulfilled. And so this is the reason I said this, is because there are weapons. There's a real God. Where do you put your trust in is going to determine how strong your foundation is, your belief. Based upon what I'm hearing from you, this is so strongly in my spirit, man, to share this scripture. See, what God says, you're talking about people not saying I'm enough, or people not saying, recognizing your giftedness. There are people, I believe, that have been assigned to you in life. But we continue to chase after those people that we think we need to know, but we don't embrace the people that have been assigned to us. But what this scripture is saying is the same thing that Gladys is saying, is that God's already called you enough. He said in Psalms 139, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. He said he called you marvelous works. Marvelous are my works, is what he's saying. Marvelous are my works, because I made you, I created you. And my soul, my response is my soul knows that right well. And so the other thing is that casting down imaginations. Gladys' whole talk thus far has been about our mind. There's things she's talking about, the negative thoughts that fly through your mind. I mean, and we're all human, yes. Yes. And so the opportunity is that we have to take into captivity those thoughts that are in misalignment with the truth of God's word and make it obey. You know, if the world says I'm not enough, we've got to come back and say I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. If somebody says you're not doing a good work, you've got to say Ephesians 2:10. I was created on purpose for a specific purpose to do good works and walk in them. So
Right.
so we have the ability, do we not, to
I may not be
cast
doing
down.
good work for you, but I know that I am good work. Did y'all hear what I just said?
Oh, I
I
love it. I love it.
am good work. You see, maybe not for you, for this company, this relationship, but I am.
I am. I am. That's a
Am.
powerful statement.
I
That's
mean,
I am. I
and
am
what are
because
you
that's
putting
what God
behind
says.
those words? What are you putting behind the words I am? Be very careful because we so easily, like I said, bring that negativity into our lives about what I am not, what I can't do. So what are you saying? And I check myself. I'm not perfect at it, but I'm gotten much better at recognizing. It's all about awareness, recognizing that I'm in that negative space to get myself up out of it. Because you can get yourself up out of it like that. Now you might have to repeat it again, but I'm telling you, you have to learn how to shift. You say shift.
I love it. Shift.
You don't have to
Shift.
do all shift.
Because there's detriment into staying there too long, right?
Very
If
much
you,
so.
yeah,
It's about what do you want? You know, one of
yeah.
the things, the three words that I hear the most with my coaching clients is, I don't know. I don't know. What do you want? I don't know. Why are you still where you say that you don't want to be? I don't know. And that goes back to sitting with yourself and sitting with God and saying, what is my purpose? Why am I here? What is important to me? What matters to me? How do you put yourself first to get to know what it is that you want, not what your mom and daddy want, or your brother and sister, or your friends, because they're telling you what they would do. I want you to do what you are destined to do. You were created to do. That's what's
Wow.
important. But
Wow.
you get so
Wow.
comfortable in that comfort zone, or you think you're comfortable in it, but you're really not. I was going to say, you're in a comfort zone because it's easy and, I know it's familiar, but you're uncomfortable in it because it's too familiar and I'm bored and I want to change and it's just not right. I'm not getting all up. So you're really uncomfortable being in that comfort zone. You really want to do more and step out into a growth zone, but you're scared. And so you normally
Wow.
go from a comfort zone into a fear zone. You're fearful, right? You get nervous
Uh-huh.
about leaving out your comfort zone. And too often we don't go any further than that because we go ooh, this is too much. Let me go on back to my comfort zone and be uncomfortable in my comfort zone versus traveling from your fear zone into a learning zone where you can then grow.
Wow.
And once you
Wow.
grow and you've elevated yourself to that growth zone, you're going to find yourself in the comfort zone again to go through the exact same process again. Because we are on this earth to grow, to what? Transform. So transformation is a journey. It's not this destination that, okay, I'm going to get here and that's going to be it. It's a journey. And oh my God, I want everybody to enjoy this journey. God meant for us to enjoy the journey. Jesus talked about, I came to have life, you to have life more abundantly. We must not believe it because we're not living that better life. I'm talking about elevating your thinking to have a better life. But then you have to understand, what does a better life mean to me? You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
As we go back to, you're not sitting with yourself long enough. You're not sitting with the right people who will encourage you by asking you the probing questions, not telling you what to do. We tell each other too much what to do, but to probe you so that you can come up out of it yourself to understand who you are and what you want, and hear and listening to God and to other wisdom people that He has brought into your life.
Gladys, oh my God, this is so good. I'm so thankful for you today. Let me tell you something, and I mentioned it and alluded to it, but you just spoke to that even stronger to make me bring it back around. There are people that are assigned to each of us. Comfort zones, I'm telling you, will not get you there. You have got to switch outside. What is that? The shift? How did you do that? Something my grandbaby does something like that. Yeah, shift.
Yeah, turn your head with
Okay, turn your head with it. Okay. Okay.
it.
I'm
Yes.
gonna work on it, but I got it. I got the concept. And
Mhm.
the shift happens when you recognize your worthiness. You're holding on the coattail too long of people that your time has expired, and you're missing out because you're in this circle where God may have signed you for a period of time. I believe totally a reason, season, lifetime. And an opportunity is you're missing out because God has assigned people to take you to your next level. And I feel this so strongly in my spirit this morning. I know even for me, I'm this year welcoming people that God has assigned to me for a shift and of elevation in my life. Now, all these people won't look like you. Some of them will, but you've got to expand your thought process. And as I love what Gladys was talking about in her title, is your perspective. You've got to expand your mind, your thought, and you've got to see yourself. One thing that we say at GCBN is that we are a small organization. We recognize that. That's a reality. That's a fact. But we have a huge heart. And that opportunity will knock on tall doors and God answers. Expect greater things even from us this year, because as the leader of your business, Gladys, you have to expand your mind if the organization is going to expand. It starts with the leader. And that's why it is so urgent to say, I am worthy. And that's why this month we wanted you to kick us off, to get us in alignment. We're going to talk about elevation throughout this year, every month. I tried to stop it and just allow the platform for January to introduce us. And God said, no, we're not finished. You just go ahead and get situated. So we're booked like now through April. Okay, talking about elevation, and we're going to continue to book, and we've got some spots even for months thereafter. But the opportunity that I mentioned right now is we're going to be relentless in providing you outstanding platform speakers like Gladys, but you've got to put the work in. I'm telling you. And Gladys, you know what I said? You know, I turned 63 in December, right? I'm 63, and I love it. I'm embracing where I am. Yeah, huh?
I said fabulous.
Fabulous. Okay, I received that. But I told him at my little birthday dinner in December, I said, you know, there are about 19 women with me, and the Lord just had me to shower them with gifts. Half of them didn't even know it was my birthday. And the opportunity was this, is because I introduced them to ahead of time where we were going in 2022 with elevation. And this is what I made a declarative statement. I decree and I declare, if God allows me, and I believe He will sustain my life this year, this time next year, okay, I won't even look the same. I won't even be recognizable. GCBN won't even look the same, because God has a plan and we are part of it. But we've got to do our part of the plan when He rolls it out for us. And that's why you're here today.
Yeah, and did you hear what Beth said? She decreed it. She didn't mealy mouse around it. I think I might want She decreed it. I want you to decree in your life, what do you want this year? Decree it. Take charge of it. Be an owner of it. You must.
Love it. Love
If
it.
you
Love
want change to come for you in 2022 now.
I love
And
it.
with
I
all we
love it.
talk about change, I want you all to recognize that with change, there are signals of change that you ignore. There's internal signals and external signals. So you can't ignore either one, those external signals of what's happening in the economy, the financial industry. COVID hit us, right? Like there would never be any kind of a situation that could bring down your business, that could do some things internally within your family. We know that change is constant. It's complex. It will always be. And if you model yourself and your life and your business as though change is going to hit it at some point or another, then you will elevate your thinking to say, how can I be prepared for what happens? Not perfectly prepared, but prepared enough where you can land on soft footing. So these internal signals that you ignore, those anxieties and frustrations and anger and sin, why are you ignoring that? Stop. Don't ignore it. It's not meant to be ignored. It's meant to tell you something. It's alerting you. It's a signal. Pay attention to it and say, why am I feeling this anxiety and frustration? Does it mean that I might need to change something within me? Because again, you can't change other people. You can only change yourself. So what do I need to do in order to stop feeling this anxiety and this discomfort? What do I need to do? Is that exit? Is that stay and change some things about myself? What are my expectations around this situation, this relationship, this business? Is my expectation too high? Am I not doing what I need to be doing to put into this? So it's about understanding who you are and not just being on this mental autopilot. Have you ever like driven and you wind up getting to your destination? You said, damn, I don't even remember the drive. I don't even remember the drive because your mind is just, you just autopilot driving. It's that comfort zone. I just gonna keep this going. And I'm telling you to come up out of that place if you want change. Stay in it now if you don't want that change, right? If you don't want that transformation.
And I'm so glad that you brought up about the pandemic, COVID-19, relationships. Everything isn't going to be hunky-dory the whole while. There are going to be some challenges in life, and change, as Gladys said, is constant. It's ever changing. But the opportunity, and I'm going to try to do it this time, is we shift. It's an opportunity, just like with us, our platform, Gladys, we met in person prior to this on site, in Middle Georgia, here in Gwinnett. Sometimes we meet at Legacy Counseling at Rich Oswald's place, one of our corporate sponsors in Snellville. We had events all the time. But if God gave you a vision for success, your opportunity is to continue to go forth as God has ordered. If God says go, COVID can't say no. And so the opportunity is, what will you do differently? We had just that January started to do some things virtually. So we just saw the concept of, I can't stop. Yeah, I can't stop. I got to continue to go. And I promise you, the first year of the pandemic, we experienced greater increase in sponsorships and memberships than we had the previous year when we were in person. And so again, I got to say it, God has a plan and I am a part of it. situations and circumstances are not created to prevent you from moving forward, but as Gladys has said, to jump over the hurdle, to continue to look for unique opportunities, to expand upon what God has already given you, because he said we would go from glory to glory, from greater to greater. And guess what? He gives us new mercies every day.
Yeah.
We've
But if
got
you
to
have a
embrace it.
mindset of limitation, you won't see the
That's
opportunity.
it. No,
There's
no.
no way you can see it. If you're so closed up and hard with anger and frustration about why this happened to me and this shouldn't have, why they do that to me and why he do, if you are all tight like this, nothing gets in. You'll stay like this. And I'm
Oh
asking
gosh.
you to think about opening yourself up and releasing your mind to the wonders of the universe and what God has prepared and laid out already. And to
Whoa, I
see that
love it.
obstacle of COVID as what could be my opportunity
Yes,
versus I'm never
yes,
going to be able to get and do. So I talked about the
yes.
first part of what I talked about was about get your mind right. And let's just talk a little briefly about getting clear and getting focused. And there's a quote that I love, 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 love. And it's clarity is the moment you see without opening your eyes. Clarity
I
is
love
the
that.
moment, clarity is the moment that you see without opening your eyes. Because so much
Whoa,
of the opportunity can't be visibly seen with your eyes.
right.
Now, faith comes in there, trust comes in. You can't see it.
Yes,
It's not within your five senses of touch and see and feel. It's within your
yes,
intuition. It's within your authentic power.
yes.
So it's important that you get your mind right and then get clear and then get focused. And remember that being clear doesn't mean that you have to see it physically and touch it
Whoa,
physically in that moment. But
wow.
let's talk about being clear about your responsibility. Talk about take charge,
Uh-huh.
taking ownership. It is your responsibility not just to have values, mine is integrity and excellence and all that I do, but how do I take my values and turn it into action? How can
Oh,
I
good,
be
good, good.
excellent in all that I'm doing? How can I ensure that I am working with integrity with everything that I do? That's my
Yes,
responsibility. Your responsibility, Beto, she has a vision. It's not her responsibility just to come up with the vision. She got to turn that into reality. What is the
yes.
vision that you have for your life, for your business, for your career? And how do you make it real? That's your responsibility. You have to make it real. That takes action. What about the obstacles we
Wow.
talked about, COVID and all of that stuff? It's more than that. Things happen all the time, every day in our lives. Those obstacles, the pain that comes. How do you manage that pain? How do you turn those obstacles into an innovative idea, process
Wow.
that helps other
Yes.
people? What about the
You,
risks that are around? The risks you have to
uh-huh.
take. Getting out of that comfort zone means you're going to be taking risks. And it's not just getting out of the comfort zone and let me just take risks, but you're supposed to turn those risks into rewards. That's your responsibility.
Wow.
That's what you have to take charge of. It's not
Wow.
for you to just create this separate entity. Beth talks a lot about we when it comes to the Georgia Christian Business Network. We. So it's not just about Beth. It is about
Mm-mm.
her members. It's about those who work with her, who volunteer with her. It's about community. And so how can you stop working in silo and solidarity and separateness and bring together what needs to be brought together that's already been provided if you would just open yourself up to receive it. That is what you need to be clear about. That is what you are responsible for. That is what you have to take charge of and own.
Oh my God, I love
Own.
this. I so love this. I am so thankful for you for sharing this with us, because this year, again, we want you to win more over than ever before in business and in life. I believe you can say Beth is out there prophesying, but there are so many outstanding businesses within Georgia Christian Business Network that God has ordained for greater success. And we're going to be the leader in helping you to be prepared, like Gladys is talking about. How are you prepared for what's to change next? Are you flexible? She talked about being open. The opportunity, she also talked about that fear. I say to you, 2 Timothy 1:7, God did not give you a spirit of fear. He gave you power, love, and a sound mind. You've got to operate in that power, keeping your mind protected. And love, love the unlovable and keep it moving. Stop relying on people that don't love you. They don't love me. They don't like me. Okay? Because of envy, they crucified Jesus. Okay? I'm not saying it, get over in the sense of wanting to be, that they did it. Get over in the sense that they didn't like him. And so why do you think the things that I suffer, you'll suffer too? What I want to do to encourage you is to go to the people that God has assigned for you. I'm looking at Lee Gant from Georgia United. We had an awesome planning session. There is so much great opportunities. Last Friday or Thursday, I don't know. And but my times and dates are running together. You know, I lost my dear mother-in-law on Friday evening. We just did a beeline to get to her. We got there and we hadn't made it back home. And in the door, we were getting a call. But thank you so much for all of the outpouring of love that you all have expressed. And we will have a celebration of life this weekend. So y'all keep us in your prayers. Yet what I'm saying right now, Lee and I, prior to that, I believe, had this long, I know it was like an hour session. And when you submit yourself to God, Gladys, to say, I'm willing to do what you've called me to do. And it's about other people. She's talking about alliances, collaboration. She's talking about network. There are people out there that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Of course, yes, thank you for recognizing that, Gladys. It's all about we here. It's no big eyes and little U's, including me. My team, one of the opportunities, Lisa can't wait to let this announcement go that she's just been, it's an outstanding announcement, and hopefully it'll happen later today regarding God Golfing Girls. And I can't wait for you to see it. But the opportunity is a lot of that major stuff. I have the vision, but they have input. And I allow people to use the giftings that God has placed within them to help us grow. This is the thing that I'm saying about Lee. Georgia United, we're partners with Georgia Christian Business Network. It's a win-win. There are opportunities that I want to focus on financial literacy. Listen, guys, hear me well. If you're saving and you're doing well, wonderful. If you got a stockpile, great. But there's too many business owners that don't have, I think it was 4 months I heard on a Steve Harvey show about a year ago, when the government did something, the checks weren't going to come out readily. And they didn't know, was it 4 months or 4 weeks, Lee, that they didn't have savings in the bank. And that's a concern. And some of these people are business owners that are in situations that, as my late mom, may she rest in peace, say, living from pillar to post. It's an opportunity when you are financially stable. It's an opportunity that builds confidence. And that's one of the things I want you to speak to, Gladys, is because when there's fear, there's a lack of confidence. And we're prepared to help them because our Wellness Wednesday shows this month, y'all come back noon tomorrow. And every Wednesday thereafter is going to follow Take Charge Tuesday. We're having synergies with the sessions on Tuesdays and Wednesday. Like you're talking about elevating our mind perspective, we're coming behind and say, confidence is going to suffer. And so Rich, Oswald, Pamela, Bartell, and we have Dr. Karen, another Georgia Christian Business Network corporate guardian sponsor, is going to take the platform for the entire month. And we're talking about confidence. Can you speak to that? How important it is?
Yeah, because you can only go as high as your level of self-esteem, which is your confidence. If your confidence is here, you will only go this far. That's it. You can't go no further because your self-esteem won't allow it, because you don't believe you can. And you listen to maybe the other people who are telling you you can't do something. So you're paying attention to that, and then you're acting upon that. So this is your level of self-esteem or confidence here. You won't go no further. But internally within you, you say, I want to be here though. You don't want to be here. That's why I say this may be a comfort zone, but you really want more. You really want better.
Yeah.
But until you raise your confidence level and your self-esteem level up so that you can then get what it is that you want, that's where you want to be. But it takes action.
A question from Facebook. You're headed maybe to it when you say it takes action to do that. They are wanting to know what that action is. The question is, what are some things can we do to increase that confidence?
You can do several things. Let me talk about the first thing that we've been talking about is understanding you, right? So you have to understand, why am I not confident? What is my perceived limitations that I'm putting on myself where I can't accomplish and get what it is that I say that I want? And so I want you to take ownership and say, is it because I'm not paying attention and I'm not focused enough on what I said I want? Ooh, whose toes did I just step on? You ain't paying attention to it, not giving no focus of it. I want my own business. I want to grow my business, but you ain't doing the things that's needed in order to do that. Are you emotionally connected to what you say you want to do? Are you charged up about it? Do you have the right routines and habits in place in order to make it happen? Do you? Because if you don't, you're not going to be able to build your confidence level, because you won't see the successes that you need to see. We all need to see successes. And they can be small successes. I say you take steps like the tiniest little mustard seed. It can be that small. And you just take that small of a step, and then you nurture it by practice. By practice. So you have to practice confidence by stepping outside of your comfort zone and taking uncomfortable action. If you don't do that, you won't ever know whether you're confident, whether you won't ever build the strength to have that confidence and courage to move with, even though you are fearful. Do you play the victim? If you're the victim, then you're not going to be confident, because you're always the victim. Because I can't control this situation.
Did you say victim?
Am I stepping on a toe?
You know what? Kim raised her hand earlier when you stepped on toes, but I believe you stepped on a lot of toes right about there with that victim. You got to determine, am I a victim and a victor, or a victor? Are you gonna cry wolf, and then when it's time to you can't do them both. Listen, you're either pitiful or powerful, but you can't do them both. The Lord clearly spoke that to me years ago. If you want to be that victim of where everybody hates me, or nobody gives me an opportunity, create your opportunity. Like Gladys is saying, that ceiling, and we're going to unfold confidence greater. Every Wednesday in the month of February, we're talking about that but I love the way Gladys did it. You know, if this is your ceiling, that's as far as you go. I'm writing a book on Godfidence right this minute. I'm just putting myself out there, and it will be completed by the end of March. And y'all check with me. Listen, you're my accountability partners too, because things are going to happen in life. I love my mother-in-law dearly. You know, I see my husband, you know, as he strengthened, he did right by her, but that lost is gone. And I said, God, you know, I'm around here hollering elevation this month and this year. And there goes Ma. Well, the opportunity is God already knew that. Know this. And he's showing me early. He said, and it's still elevation. You know, Ma even elevated. You know, she got her, as my son said, Romy said, you know, my grandma on his social media account got her wings and a halo. The opportunity is for us here. What are you going to do? God already took care of that. Yes, we grieve her loss and we miss her. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, transparently, it's a tough one. Although she was 96, she had to slip out of the pool. This lady was reading scriptures and doing puzzles 2 weeks before her death, you know, and praying and having fun and joking. The last time I talked to her, she was picking at me. But what are you going to do? 96 years old, mind intact, everything. What a life she lived. We get the opportunity still to build in that direction. What are you going to do? I even put out there for February, Gladys. How are you going to, God said, live large for God. How are you going to live large for God this month? What are you going to do differently to the things that Gladys has shared with us? I'm going
right
to
now.
give you
I'm talking right now. I'm not
right now.
In the all we have, as you're talking about that, and my brother passed, and one of my daughter's best friends passed. She was just 35 years old, left a 7-year-old daughter. We are only promised this moment, not the next one, this moment. What are you going to do with this moment? Because we miss a lot thinking about what am I going to do in February? And that's great. And what am I going to do in 2022? And that's wonderful. But what am I going to do in this moment? Where am I in this moment? Am I at peace in this moment? Am I doing what matters to me in this moment? How am I feeling about what it is that I'm doing in this moment? You want to build your confidence up? You have to know who you are. You have to, in my third section, get committed to being uncomfortable. That's how you build your confidence. It happens no other way. You will not build your confidence doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. You got to stretch yourself like a rubber band. I don't have one, but you know, a rubber band, it's no good if you don't stretch it. You got to stretch it to make it work. Yes.
That is so good,
How
Gladys.
will you get uncomfortable? This quote, life will only change when you become more committed to your dreams than you are to your comfort zone. So are you more committed to your comfort zone, or are you more committed to your dreams? Because if you're more committed to your dreams, your actions and behaviors and results will demonstrate that. It will demonstrate it. And so she talked about what are some other things. How can I become confident? I want you to know, stop taking everything personal. Stop taking everything personal. If somebody got something to say something about you, don't take it personal. That's their perspective. That doesn't define who you are. Stop taking everything personal. Stop making assumptions. They don't like me. They talking about me. They never gonna let me do this. I can never go for that because I'm not. You're making all of these assumptions.
I love
Do your best. Work and do your best and be honest. I mean, impeccable with your word. And again, you have to know you. Be happy and be joyous that you're getting ready to get to know who you are. Woo! and all that comes along with that. You want to be confident? Assess where you are, know where you stand, what are my gaps, and then go for it. And
Wow.
then go for that and take
This
action.
take action. Oh, I wanted you to get that out. Listen, we started just a couple of minutes late, so we've gone over a couple of minutes, but I love that. And I accept that as a closing charge to each of us that, listen, take action. And you don't own, this is a quote, Lisa, the first night I met her, she put it up on the page. You don't own everyone's opinion of you. All that you own is what God says about you. I can't remember exactly how I quoted it. I put it out there, but she took that thing and made a meme out of it. And it's basically you own what God says about you and allow other people to own what they say about you. That's not yours. It's not yours
Exactly.
to own. Listen, we appreciate your joining us today for Take Charge Tuesday Power Call with the amazing, remarkable, outstanding Gladys Agwai. We so love you, Gladys. We appreciate each of you for joining us over on the Facebook Live side of the house. Thank you, Kim and Lee, for hanging out with us on Zoom. Doesn't it make it cozy and reading their chats? We appreciate that. And we hope others will come over too. Listen, great opportunities. Lisa's going to share how people can connect with you, because some people and a lot of people really need to experience a coaching session with you, even one to get your head on straight, get some direction and build some momentum in your business life. So we're putting your contact information over on the Zoom side of the house. We've got a closing comments from Lee. She said, so good. Kim says, this was powerful. Have to watch the replay. And please share it out with others. Tell them what we're doing at Georgia Christian Business Network. We are putting God back in business. We have a members benefit coming up exclusively for our members on March 5th, and that's going to be in our newsletter. Also, you'll be able to experience information in our Facebook Live GCBN group. And to hear about the March 5th training on the project management, I have outstanding team of administrators. They're awesome business owners in their own right, but Lisa Muth and Rosalind, Jean, and Jessica, Dr. Jess, we're just a great team together. But Rose and Lisa are going to help you with an opportunity to definitely understand project management and virtual assistants, and how important it is for you all to understand the, I say value, if you don't mind, the value of a virtual assistant. I've already shared that information over onto the Facebook group, Gladys, that you're asking them to share, but I'm sure Lisa already had it out there, but that's an Eventbrite opportunity that you're sharing with them. Okay.
Yeah, it's a webinar that I'm having on Mondays at noon.
On Mondays. Okay. Awesome.
Why the
awesome.
hell not webinar? Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we've got that over there. It's so awesome that Lee said something. Whether you believe you can do it or believe you can't, you are right. Self-efficacy. That is so important. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Well, we're about to close now. Thank you guys again for joining us, but please do go to our website, www.gcbnetwork.com. Look for opportunities to become a member. Look for opportunities to become a sponsor. We need your help this year in putting God back in business. Next week, guess who's on the platform for Take Charge Tuesday? I can't wait. Erica Jackson. Do you know her, Gladys? Have you met Erica?
I don't think so. I may have met her, but the name isn't ringing a bell.
She was our keynote at one of our God Golfing Girls events. We've got an awesome announcement about this year's event and the opportunity that CYE is going to be our Platinum Plus sponsor this year. So we are thrilled, but some of that is going to be in what Lisa's going to share later this afternoon. And the other opportunity is next week is to continue to follow us starting tomorrow with Dr. Karen Borg out of Dallas, Texas, and CYE is out of, Erica Jackson is out of Jacksonville, Florida. And she is also, both of those people are guardian sponsors for Georgia Christian Business Network, along with Pamela Bridgman and Lee Oswald, who are faithful, committed GCBN corporate sponsors as well. We're really growing. We're up to like 20 or 21 GCBN sponsors. Our membership is growing, but we need your help. Thanks again for joining us, Gladys. Outstanding. Yes.
No, I love you.
We love you as well. We wish you greatness and continue to experience Elevation 2022.
Yes.
God bless each of you. Take care. Thanks, Lisa. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.